Welcome to Tech Quiz, where we demystify web concepts. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Google authentication processes. The technology has been around for quite a while, but it's kind of new, and applications on the web they have been implementing it on their applications. Just you can see here on Canva, you have this Google, Facebook authentication being implemented. So this is what we're going to be looking at. You see the process flow. You click on the button, a pop-up comes up asking for your consent to grant permission. So and this information. So this word basically we're going to be demystifying what's the process, what are things happening behind the scene. So you can see the diagram that we have here. The diagram we have here explains everything that we need to know about this process. So before we go further, I would like you to click on the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel, and also leave a comment on the comment section on the next topic you feel that is crucial for us to look into. And also don't forget to share the video. Click on the notification button so when we drop the next video, you get the notification. So let's go straight into it. So there are key components that we need to understand to have a complete understanding of the entire process. So this is an authentication process in itself, and the way it's been designed, the flow is awesome. I just love it. And there are different components doing different activities in order to make sure that the person that is trying to access a particular account, he is who he say he is. So the first component is the browser. So the browser here present you with the application interface where you click the button, and once you click on the button, the application then redirects you to Google Authentication Server, another component. Here you can see the application we're saying is a client. So in this particular scenario, he's actually a client. Then the browser is the user. Then we have the Google Authentication Server, which generates an access code and also generate an access token. Then we have the resource server, which is an API, an application programming interface of Google, which is in charge of managing the resources of users on their database. So, what is basically designed to make it seamless and also easy for other applications to access those resources. Only application that has the permission, the right access token to get those information. So there are set of protocols being defined. So with that set, let's follow the process from and follow it step by step, the entire flow. So the first thing you do once you click on the button, Google login button, it redirects you through a route on that particular application. And once you hit that route, it redirects you through a front channel request. So I haven't explained these front channel requests. What it basically means is those processes that you can see on your browser that you can actually see and you are interacting with. So those are the front channel request and also response. So like once I click this, you can see this is appearing. So these interfaces that have to interfere with the process are the front channel request and also response. Like this, a response from Google Authentication Server to me, asking me for my consent. So also once you do that, it redirects you to the consent page. So actually, it redirects to Google Authentication Server. Then Google Authentication Server bring out this window that we just see to the user on the browser, asking him to grant his permission for this application, which is the client that is making the request to Google Authentication Server. So once you grant the permission, it goes ahead to generate an access token. Once you generate the access token, it sends it and redirects you through your browser as a user with the access code that it just generated, and he's going to redirect you back to the application. So he will be sending you back to the application with some other information along with the payload. So the application now has these access codes which he can use to exchange it for access token, which is what he's going to use the access token to access resources or communicate with the resource server to access those resources for use. Then, once this code has been given to the application, which is the client here, he's going to use it to send a back channel request. This time around, it doesn't need your interference again. You've done your part. The only thing that you needed to do is to grant your permission to grant access to those resources. So once you've done that, you redirect through your browser. You can see through your browser how you've been redirected back to the Canva application. So once you are here, Canva will put you on hold and start processing it because he has gotten everything that he needs from you. He just needed you to give Google that permission that okay, grant this person the resources. So once you say okay, grant the person resources, he puts you on hold, going ahead to process, do some back channel request and response back and front, making sure that everything is placed, making sure that you are who you say you are. So once he makes that request, he sends the access code gotten from the browser. He sends it to Google Authentication Server. Then Google Authentication Server now generates an access token through a back channel response back to the application. So now the application has the access token. So with the access token now, he can go ahead and make requests to resource server because that's the only thing that the resource server needs from other application to grant them access to the resources that they are requesting for. So once he send this to the resource server through a back channel request, the resource server then process and authenticate the access token, do some activities behind also. So I don't want us to dive into that, what happened there. Let's focus on all of this. So once it does that, it then generates the user credentials and send them through back channel response. So the response that he's sending back to the application this time around is containing the user credentials, which are the username, the profile, the email, and date of birth, whatsoever information you've given permission on to this application to have access to. So once he sends it, now he has those information. Now it will go ahead to process it here, do some logic, try to authenticate. There are different scenarios. Some scenarios he wants to create an account for you. Some cases he just wants to log you into the system. So once that is been done, it then redirects you to the appropriate uh redirect you to the appropriate window on your browser. So like this on Canva, it redirect you to the dashboard. So once you follow through and everything goes smoothly, it redirects you to the dashboard. So we're going to see that. So I think that's the entire process, what happened behind the scene. And let's look at it. If you click on this, let's do this on Canva. So you can see now we are on Canva. After clicking on the button, Canva now redirect us back to Google Authentication Server. So Authentication Server then send this window asking for our consent to grant Canva the permission to access our name, email address, language preference, and profile picture. So we'll go ahead and grant that permission. So immediately as we grant this permission, you can see the process. It redirects us through the front end through our browser back to the application, and the application put us on hold. And you saw how it was loading So that seconds taking him to load is the back and a back channel response and request that he has been sending back and front to do all this authentication. So once that is done, then it redirects us to the dashboard. So we can see here we logged in. We didn't have to put in our username or password to do this. So this is it. So please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also click on the like button, share the video, and also turn on the notification so that when I drop the next video, you will be notified. Thank you.